guys, Aliling here to say howdy to you. It is kind of a beautiful day, nice sunshine. It's the 26th of September, 2021. We got today. It's just one of these days. I got just getting away from the family and the kids. My back is hitting me so hard today that I just need to get away. I'm snapping at the people I love, and that's bad when the back takes over and controls my mind too. I gotta just get away. Figured I'd talk to you guys a little bit. Maybe it'll feel better. Hopefully, get my mind off it anyway. Wasn't feeling too bad last night. Just a normal level of back pain, and I saw Wes had given me some of that arnica, and I didn't want to just take stuff all the time. But probably if I would have took it, it would have helped. But man, just woke up with the throbbing leg at 2. It's like a snowball effect. What happens with this stupid back? I lose the sleep. Can't go to the bathroom. Get constipated, and I don't like to take drugs for this, really. And I don't want to take laxatives either. I do have some of that senna tea. Probably going to have to go that route. They sell that here at any Watson's. Most of the stores have it. Even the grocery stores have it if you ever need that. But gosh dang, it's just it's a beautiful day, and I got this going on. I remember one time it got real bad, and Doc put me in the hospital, and I went on Demerol or not Demerol. Hang on, I went on Solumedrol and Decadron to try and get the swelling down. But I was telling the doctor I couldn't go, and he said, "Well, just try to go tomorrow." And went for like 10 days. I couldn't go. The pain was easing up somewhat, but I was just blocked. And called my mother and told her what was going on. And she drove like 160 miles and brought me a thing of citrate of magnesia, a little green bottle, maybe a 10-ounce bottle, 12 maybe. And I didn't read the label. I just needed some kind of relief. My gut was blowed out, so I just drank the whole thing. And boy, I'll tell you what, I was only supposed to drink a little bit, but boy, that stuff cleaned me out. I'll tell you that much. But this kind of really sucks. My leg is just hurting so dang bad. It was numb this morning, and now it's just throbbing. I don't mean to, get you guys or whine or anything like that, but it's rough. It's something I've been dealing with for many years, and I hate when I get days like this. At least I'm able to get to my feet. I've had days I couldn't get to my feet. Took me from 2 till about 3:30 to get off the bed. It's nice to have the bed that used to be when I was first here. We had the mattress right on the floor, but that was one of the things I told my wife. I gotta have a bed up in the air. I got it up at a nice height. Don't like the kids to roll off and fall out, so I always keep them against the wall. But that way I can swing my feet over, and I got plenty of stuff to grab onto to get up to my feet, and that's the way it's got to be. I gotta get to my feet as fast as I can. But that's the way she goes. I don't like I say, I don't like to take the drugs or anything. But I'll tell you what, I sure could use some Demerol and Vistaril right now. I don't like to do that kind of stuff, but because it's giving you pain for a reason. But I am finding out if I wouldn't have got up to my feet this morning, it would have been just it would have been days. It'll usually last longer if I don't. Hopefully already talking to you guys is taking my mind off it somewhat. So even though I'm talking about it, it's always better that way. And I don't mean to snap at my kids. They do get pretty loud and wild. And I don't really like to holler at them or anything like that, but sometimes it just takes over. I know some of you guys, I couple of guys who watch the channels, you know, they're fighting the same thing I am. But that's the way it goes. Not much I can do about it. But it is a beautiful day. Just absolutely fantastic. Kids are wanting to go for bike rides and motorcycle rides, but that's down the road a little bit today. That's going to be a little bit later, I think. But there's some of the guys are working here today. Few of them, most of them went home yesterday. You know, being the Sunday, but there's some guys over there working. You know, getting things ready for tomorrow. You got to give these guys some credit. They built a new little house. Coco's going to be staying in it. Looks like it's a lot more wind resistance. This one that was over here, you can see what happened to it. The wind just tore the roof off. And the thing that really gets me though is these guys are having to go over the hill to poo. The company doesn't supply them any kind of porta potty or anything like that. I just can't believe that they expect people to do it. But these Filipino guys do it. They adapt and they adjust, and they just, they away from their families for a long time. The one fellow we really know and talked to a lot. One of them just got back. He was at another job, real nice guy. And this other fellow, he's away from his kids. He talks to him on his phone at the end of every day. He showed us his pictures of his little daughter and all that. But it's tough. When you got to be away from your family, it's really tough. And he can't afford to travel back and forth, So, and these guys, you see them having like cup of soup and stuff. They're not eating expensive or anything because they got to send money home to their families. And you got to give these guys credit. You got to give them a lot of credit for that. Away from home a long time. And, I can understand. I can feel the pain. But good bunch of guys. There's a bunch of new ones here now. They're bringing in guys, but they don't stay. They must be local, so you see them leaving. A lot of them come on their motorcycle, stuff like that. But just really, the more of them we meet, it's just like you're just not finding any bad ones. It seems like the construction workers are just solid individuals here, and they work. I mean, I'm out here all day watching them, and none of these guys are slackers. It just amazes me, and they start. It's not like the ones the Filipinos I had in the States that showed up sometimes or came in late. We'd start at 6 in the morning. I'd get guys showing up at 10, Filipinos. But these guys, they're out. They're out first thing in the morning. They're up early. They go to bed early. Pretty much after dark, they're done. They're in their little shanty and crashing, so they're ready for the next day. And here, when they get rain out days and stuff like that, or if the water, like yesterday, the water was off, there's no pay for them. No work, no pay. It's not like the Western world, And I sit back here. I know I'm whining a little bit about the back, but there's some people here that really suffer. And now it's to the point where a lot of people who do have problems, they just won't go to the hospital. I put a thing on my Facebook, the overstay guy. He was doing some traveling and they did a test on him, and now he's quarantined because they just said he got it. And everybody knows this PCR test is, there's been so many things out about it, even from the guy that invented it said it's not designed for this. Too many false positives. Depends on how many cycles. I don't know all that much about it, but I'm sure some of you guys will look that up and make some comments if you want on it. But a lot of people are just afraid to go, and there's so many people here, their families, they're diabetics, and they can't get the insulin, they can't get anything, can't afford it. We know a young fella. He was our good friend, lived across the street. His name was Eamon. Stout, my goodness, he was a real bulky, muscular guy, tough as nails, this fella. And he had kidney problem. We didn't hear about it until the funeral. his kidney failed, and he didn't need dialysis for the rest of his life. He needed to get over the hump, but there was no money, so the hospitals put him out here. You don't got money, sorry. And the family couldn't get it up. Nobody got a hold of us, and we loved that kid. He was our neighbor for many years, and even after we moved out, still see him from time to time, and it just was a shame. But they have things too. You see people that have strokes. You're there in the States. Most people, if they have a stroke, there's an ambulance that gets them, and they get them within that certain amount of time, give them medicine, and they're back on their feet in a matter of days. Here, they're looking at, if they had good rehab, a year and a half of rehab to get them back right, but they can't afford that rehab for that. So you see people with strokes that never really recover. We knew a fellow that just half of his body was just dead, and he suffered through that. So me, I should count my lucky stars. That's all there is to it. It's a shame how it goes here. It's not really a third world. They call it a developing nation, but it's tough here for people. They just had a thing on now where the hospitals can't hold you. It used to be if you couldn't pay, hospital wouldn't let you leave. They got security guards at the door, not just to keep people out, but to keep people in. You don't pay your bill and show the receipt at the door and get it signed off, you're not leaving. But I heard they passed a law that they can't do that anymore, even though some hospitals try. Because mostly, if people leave, that hospital's never going to see another dime, and that'll increase prices. One of these fellows here got cut his arm pretty good down into his hand on the forearm, and went to the one hospital to get it stitched up. It was a pretty good gash, working with this rebar and stuff, and they wanted $10,000. Well, they had to leave. That was too much. The hospitals are really charging high prices now. Before, it was something like that would have been a few hundred pesos, but not now, because the hospitals people are afraid to go. This COVID stuff's got everybody scared. Some people just won't go because they don't want to be told that they've got this thing, this coup. And it's just, it's a terrible thing here. It's just exacerbating a situation that was bad already. And I really feel for these people. They're good-natured, hard-working people. That's all there is to it. There's so very few bad Filipinos that we even know about. I had one guy here on the channel that was, he was really ranking on me. I think it was just a troll. I doubt he was even a Filipino, just somebody being a jerk. But kind of sad. Hey, it's easing up a little bit now. I just got to keep walking, soak up the sunshine. I wanted to get in a hot shower this morning, and there was some water coming out, but not enough for the heater to turn on. It wouldn't even click on a little bit. They don't have anything automatic in that tank. I'm pretty much sure, because when it was off yesterday, they had to send somebody up to fill the tank again. But with them using all the water here for construction, plus the people in the houses, it just gets used up. That tank gets used up pretty quick. It's not that big of a tank. We had a tank over in Carmona that was it had to be 4 times as big as this one. It's a huge tank, and we had tons of pressure. And they cleaned it monthly. They would put out a little notice when you got your bill that on the 30th they were going to clean it. And we would get some pretty gooky water, so I'd have everything in the house shut off so it wouldn't fill our pipes with gook. And then the first spigot that was in the line, we would run that until all the brown crap came out. That way it wouldn't get in our faucets and everything. But they did it. Those guys really did the water well over there. That's something, when you come here, you got to really look for, guys. Make sure when you find a place that you've got water, and if you don't, if you got a piece of land you're going to develop or something, make sure you get up a good well, pressure tank. A lot of people where we used to live, like the German fellow that fixed that house up, he had a big tank he put in. I don't have a whole lot of room, but we are going to, down the road here, collect rainwater. Probably figured out how to do it next year, and we'll just have to put barrels in the back. I want to get covers over that first, and just tie some of those blue barrels together, and at least that way we could pump that out for washing a car. We can bath the kids outside. We used to do it before. The kids loved it. The one fella over here, the bachelor, lives in the house. I don't see him around a whole lot now, as much as I did. But he had a garden hose with a sprayer that he made a rebar rack for, and he took his showers outside. He didn't have any Insta-Hots or anything, so. But a real good fella. And the kids, I used to bathe them outside all the time. Put them in a big wash tub and spray them with the garden hose. They loved it. And Dorothy does like to take a hot shower when she can. And the boys do too. They like it too. Mumu not so much. Maddie, he does, but they don't have to have it. I mean, when you grow up used to something and you don't shower in hot water all the time, then you get used to that, And me, I was a Navy guy, even though I wasn't really on the ship. They taught us to conserve water. You get wet, you soap up, and I've always done that. I've actually, when we were at the other house, especially the first house we were in, for 6 years, I could fill up a 5-gallon bucket and bathe and get clean without using the whole bucket full. And we had one of them toilets that's there's not even a provision to put a tank. It's just the bowl sitting on the floor, and those things just flush really easy. Just a little bit of water. You can do it with a gallon of water, and just dump a gallon in there from a bleach container we had. We cut a little hole in the bleach container and dipped that in the thing, and we could flush that. And so we do know how to conserve water. But days like this, I like to just soak on let that hot water hit my back and soak it in. It's the cold that messes me up. One of the reasons I wound up in California, even though I just hated that place. It wasn't the place, it was beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it was a lot of the people, these ultra liberals, and my goodness, I just couldn't believe. I was like in a political bastion area though, so it's probably not everywhere. I know I see a lot of these farm guys that are pretty cool, when you get into the middle of the state, but I lived out west of LA, and just a lot of people that were just super liberals. I knew a lot of them that were these like vegan people, and guys, a lot of those folks, when they're young and doing it, it seems okay, like it's a good thing. But I'll tell you what, when you see the older ones, they really get goofy in there, and it seems like their head, like their brain, something happened to it. That's just my observation. I'm not, but there was a few of them, and there was a lot of them vegan folks out there, and it's just, I don't know. We got teeth for a carnivore. We're designed to eat meat. I'm not a big one on eating too much of it or anything like that, but do everything in moderation. It tells you right that in your owner's manual. Do all things in moderation. So that's the way that goes. But it is fantastic today. That sun feels great. A lot of people tease me about not having a shirt on, but hey, I like to be in the sun. I don't burn. I fell asleep in the sun one time at our first house, laying on I finally got a thing to lay outside, and I laid down there on my belly, and even though I was sweating, I fell asleep, and my wife wasn't there, and I was out there for quite a long time, and I wasn't burnt. I was crinkly. I got a little crinkly in my back, but it didn't really affect me. Some people do. When you come here, I see foreigners here, a lot of Brits too that are, not the construction worker Brits, but more like the academic types, white collar type guys, and they got you'll see them with their white stuff on their nose, and they're wearing big hats and stuff to hide from the sun, because they burn. I had a buddy, big Irish fella, he was big monstrous fella, and real happy guy. He's one of my best buddies, and boy, that guy would get out in the sun. Even if he was wearing long sleeve shirts and a hat and everything, his hands would get burnt. He was very light skinned. His wife was even worse. That girl, she'd just walk across the street in the sun and just turn beet red. But I think that's because maybe the nature of the country. I know when I was over in England, the whole time I was there, if I could dig up my old passport, I could find out what months it was. But it pretty much rained. It pretty much rained. The day I left was the first day I saw sunshine. It was just gloomy the whole time. If it wasn't raining, it was drizzling, and everybody got an umbrella. Here they got an umbrella to hide from the sun. But good morning. There's our buddy. Say good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
You working today?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, they hide from the sun, and they take that glutathione stuff and try to make their skin white. And I think it's advertising. It's just advertising. The girls in the States are light and they want to get a suntan. The girls here got this most beautiful dark skin and they want to get lighter. It's just advertising. They've got you fooled into not being happy with yourself. So I just don't get that. But and then you see them changing their hair because everything's got to be changed. If they're not happy with themselves, it's kind of a scary thing. It's like when I met my wife. She just came. She wasn't all gussied up or anything like that, and that's a tip off, guys. If you're looking for a girl, if they're all gussied up, they're going to be high maintenance. It seems to me. I have one buddy, my buddy Tom. He passed away now. He got cancer. They wound up cutting his neck out and all that crap. But heavy smoker. But he had a very beautiful wife. But it got to the point where I wouldn't even stop at his house anymore, because every time I got to the door getting ready to knock, she was bitching at him about something, and he just took it. He took it. I asked him one time at work, I said, buddy, man, every time I come over, she's bitching. Because he asked me why I wouldn't come. I said, she's bitching and I don't want to go. He says, I wish you to come in because she quits if you show up. And I go, oh, okay, I'll have to come in. And then it got to a point where she got so used to me that she'd start bitching at me too. I was like, no, I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need any bitching. I don't understand the people that bitch. What's the point? Look at me. I got this stupid back thing I deal with on a daily basis. Some days worse than the others, and there's no sense in complaining. I talk to you guys. It's just to help take my mind off it. Thanks for listening. And I do like to hear from you guys in the comments and all that. My little daughter is helping her learn how to read. She pretty much operates the phone on a lot of these comments. I'll tell her what to put in, and if she doesn't know how to spell a word, I make her look it up. But pretty basic. She does a lot of thumbs up and hearts and that to let you know we're here. But we're gonna get out. They want to ride bikes. I know that, so I'm gonna have to walk this off as best I can, and they're keeping me going, guys. That's one thing about these little guys. They keep me hopping. I just gotta watch my temper when this gets bad. Because I love these kids to death, and they don't deserve to be snapped at. That's for sure. But some days it's just tough. So I just gotta temper it. But it's pretty much out of me now. This walk helped, and guys, bless you all, and thanks for watching the channel. Sucks I got to be over on this other one now because of something I said that Sky News said almost the same thing, and it's funny how this YouTube and Facebook will just nail you. I was not giving medical advice. That's what they said. It was medical advice. I wasn't giving medical advice. Just like I'm saying now. You want one of those things, get it. You don't. That's all I am about freedom of choice, period. Mandating something like this it's just not right. And they do it with a lot of stuff, though. Now, the kids, when it came to shots and all that, no, just no. And here, you could say no, and then you can work it through. They want to see a shot record. Fill one in yourself. They don't really look at that stuff. So, but I'm gonna let you go. Just gotta walking this off. I'm hoping the water pressure kicks up so I can jump in the shower. And don't think we'll be riding the motorbike today. Might sit around and get the kids to help me clean it up again. Try to keep it real clean. And I like to show them the tools and, you know, have them the boys get the tools. Dorothy too, so that they can learn all this stuff. You know, I want to try to teach them as much as I can. I'm hoping that when they get big, they don't have to have somebody doing everything for them. You know, here though, a lot of stuff is done cheap. A lot of guys, like when they were hanging the door, I'd have hung those doors, no problem. But that was in the price. So, you know, we tip them though a little bit, give them something to eat. But I like to do all that stuff myself. We still got to get up and fix my awning, and we got the place. It's getting there slowly. More curtains and stuff. I was thinking down the road I'd like to get these windows smeared down here, so that it's not so easy to see in. Because at nighttime when you got the lights on, you know, well, we can close the curtains and all that. But I like to see out too. You know, we got these street lights here. They're not really bright though. I wish they'd put more in. Maybe when the houses go up, they'll get more. Plus, people will be lighting. Like our neighbor down here at the end of the street, that white house at the end. He's got a really nice light up solar with the big battery. Yeah, we're going to do it just here in a second. Stay right here. But his is real bright. It's bright all the time, and then when you walk past it, it even gets brighter. It's got that motion sensor like mine. And it's a big one. It's got a battery about as big as a motorcycle battery. I got this little tiny one. I got for, I think it was 168 pesos, and it's working great. It works really good. Okay, yeah, we can have some. I'm gonna make a pot of coffee.
11 when everything is on 11.
Okay, you guys want to do the thing?
Reach out! Bye bye. Can you go for a motorcycle ride?
Give me just let my back ease up a little bit, and we'll get out there and do some stuff. All right, guys. This is I should be called Aliling Al. You guys take care. Bye.